Hi, I'm Kenneth WAJDA, and I'm a professional photographer here in Colorado, and welcome to another one of my photography talks. So today I want to talk about new experiences. I was just out last week in Arkansas on a photo shoot, and it was an industrial photo shoot for a large company that makes a specific product that moves heavy equipment. And the town that I was in was a town called Russellville, which isn't a terribly interesting town. I didn't find a downtown, but there were towns near it that had downtowns, and that tends to be one of those places that draws me because I like to see the architecture of an old small town, and there's something quaint maybe. I'm probably nostalgic for my youth, but everywhere I went in that trip, I ended up driving to Memphis. I ended up going up towards Cincinnati and then out through Missouri. And everywhere I went, my eyes were open to new experiences and new pictures and new things to look at and new places to go because it was all fresh. One of the most important things we can do as photographers is travel, because as much as we say, well, there's beautiful stuff at home, you can always shoot at home, there is a fatigue that happens when you see the same thing over and over. And getting out and seeing different towns, Memphis was full of visual stimulation for me. I was, walking around and through the downtown, and it was just one of those places where everything was catching my eye. It was so visual, it was so rich. That doesn't mean everything makes for a great photograph, but it means that some of them do. And it's certainly a lot of fun to go out and explore a place with a camera like that. Years ago, I remember being in France. I had flown into London, and I had traveled around London by myself with a camera, with some writing. I was doing some writing out there. And then I went down to France on the train, and even though I took 4 years of French, 2 years in high school, 2 years in college, it was worthless to me because I couldn't understand any of it. And I really couldn't read it, and I felt at a disadvantage. And I ended up traveling around the city with my camera, and that was the one thing that I could connect with because I could explore with this camera and document my experiences visually, which doesn't have any language barrier. So that was a godsend to have, photography as the way to explore a city. But it is a great way to, I bet photographers see more than most people see. We see the details. We see the small scenes and the small stories, and we try to capture some. So travel is a real big important thing, and I'll put a link to my some of the photos. Actually, they're at the top of my Colorado Faces gallery, which is my street gallery. Those photographs ended up at the top at the moment. It's always changing, but if you are looking for a way to break out of whatever visual rut you might be in, sometimes it just means getting to a new location. For me, I could go to the mountains, I could go to a mountain town, I could go up to Fort Collins, or some towns that I don't go to frequently enough, and I get that. Because it's just that where you live, you tend to see over and over. I've seen Boulder so much, and it's difficult sometimes to look for anything in a place that you're too familiar with. But it's out there, and other people come into Boulder see it that I may have a harder time seeing it sometimes. All right, that's today's photography talk. Do you ever use travel as a way to inspire your work? If you do and you have any good photos, put them in the links below. And thanks for watching. If you're enjoying these, hit the subscribe button and I'll bring you some more. Thanks.